Hey, welcome to Storytime with Sajay. Today's episode is inspired by the novel Just As I Am, written by Miss Cicely Tyson and I collaborated with Michelle Burford. And I don't have the book, but it is in my Kindle. Oh my God, I feel so full right now. I mean, this woman, she lived her life. Like she wasn't afraid to live. She took huge risks and she did it with such dignity and class and style. I mean, there's this one scripture in the Bible, and I'm paraphrasing, and it says, cast down every imagination and high thought that exalts itself against God, right? And I think about that, and have you ever been like erased or tried to be erased from society, or your image just tried to be erased, or you just feel like you're unseen? And I think about the body of work that she entered the industry within, right? And every imaginative thought that influenced our social structures, whether it was inspired by racism, which is something that we're working through right here in 2021, it's in our face, ignorance, but just the idea that this woman literally cast down imaginations, thoughts, ideas, ideologies that exalt itself against the knowledge of God that lived inside of her. This woman lived her story from beginning to end. Like I'm literally like when I was reading the book, I was just so, you know how you read a story and I almost felt like I was reading a fiction novel, because literature does two things that I love, which is it helps you escape time and save time. And have you ever just read a fiction novel and I mean you just fly through and it feeds your imagination so much. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna recreate this story, or you live vicariously through these characters' lives. And I felt like I was reading a fiction novel, but yet it's nonfiction. It was her life, and she lived it well. I mean, I'm just so I just feel so full. It's not there's so many stories that are in the grave, right? And she is the epitome of just a great example of how, even though she said in her book there's still things that she has to do. Like we are born with so many different ideas. Like every time we wake up and we're blessed, our wealth comes from our ideas, right? And so at 96, this woman is still talking about things that she wants to do, but she's done so much. It just gives the idea that she still has goals. She still has purpose. She's finding intention in every single day that she's awake. But I don't believe for one second that she feels that there was something unleft. This woman lived her story and can hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. This woman was seen, will continue to be seen. I mean, I'm so full. I love the story. And then finding out she was married to Miles Davis, which I had no idea. I told you guys like 2 weeks ago that I am a huge jazz fan. And so just to hear about her story and how she was unapologetic and she wasn't ashamed about her marriage and her experience with Miles Davis. And there's some times where, because I believe in wise counsel. I do. I believe in wise counsel. I believe in the support of real family and friends and the importance of privacy. Because sometimes when we're doing things in our lives, though people mean well, sometimes you can get so many different opinions, but sometimes you're supposed to go through certain kinds of experiences to help you on with that next thing is going to be that's coming up in your life. It's like a puzzle, like or art, for example. We're all living our lives that is a grand puzzle that includes other people, but at the end of the day, like we're putting the pieces of our life together as we're unfolding, as the picture is being created, right? And so I love that she embraced that piece of her story, that piece of the puzzle. And it was very tumultuous. I don't want to give all the goods away because you must read it if you have not. Um, and she embraced it, and she still was fabulous. Because not a lot of people knew what was going on. She was still fabulous, and she still dedicated herself gracefully, with integrity, to her sole purpose, her work as an artist, to the stage, to film. I mean, this woman, oh my God, there's so much I can say, but right now, all I really honestly have to say is that I am so full right now, seriously. And if you have not, please get the book and read it. And don't be afraid to live your story, to live your truth. That's really it. That's at the end of the day, because we think about God and we think about God. God is love, God is truth. And as long as we're honestly living our truth, we can wake up every day knowing that all things literally work together for our good and that everything is really going to be okay. This woman was rooted, is still rooted in God. Oh my gosh, and I'm so full. I I mean, even reading the story was an honor. Reading the story was an honor and a privilege. So get the book if you guys can. Make sure you tune in next week. I'm so full. Peace, and I'll see you guys later.